Good morning, Flosstube. It is Sunday, the 28th of April, 2024. I am Sarah and you are very welcome to my little corner of YouTube all about cross stitch. You are very welcome to Sew Me Sarah. If you are new here, thank you for giving the channel a try. I know there are so many great options out there, and thank you for stopping by to give me a little watch. I hope that you like what you see. If you do, please subscribe so that you can come back and join us and be part of the community here. And for those of you who have already done that, who've been with me for some time, or even just joined recently as a subscriber, thank you so much for your support on the channel. It means everything. It means that I am not just sitting here talking to an inanimate object, but I am actually having conversation in the world of social media. I love this channel. You know that I love my time here with you and building relationships with you, and I look forward to many more episodes to come. Since the last time, I don't have huge amounts of family update for you. I'm in a period of advocacy and anxiety, probably. Admin and advocacy is probably what I should say. Charlotte, as you know, if you've been here for a while, you might have been lucky enough to catch one of her visits to the channel. If you haven't seen her yet, Charlotte is my 8-year-old daughter. She is a live wire and she has Down syndrome, so she has some special and additional needs. And so this year, school has been particularly difficult for Charlotte, and the professional advice is really that we should look for an alternative school placement for her for next September, or this September coming. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Difficult as it's going to be to take her away from the school that she's in, where she's known and loved very much and cared for very much. But it is just, it's time for some more specialist intervention. So the recommendation is that we send her to a learning support unit in a primary school. So some of the primary schools here in Northern Ireland have learning support units, which are smaller classes taught by specially trained special educational needs teachers, and they have a smaller, with the smaller number of kids, and they have additional staff. They have better staff ratios and things for providing extra help and additional help and specialist help to children like Charlotte who need that little bit extra. So at this stage, we're not looking at special school, as it were, the full special school, but just a different method of provision for her. So I'm keeping all my fingers crossed and writing letters and filling in forms and spending hours on the telephone with schools and teachers at Education Authority and the various support organisations that she has to try to get the right placement for her. So that is a very busy time, quite a stressful time, and that's really what has eaten up the last few weeks, and I suspect it's going to eat up a number more before before it's actually resolved. But fingers crossed, prayers said, all of the things. I'm going to fight her corner for her and hope that we get a good placement for next year. But all of that being said, that has been a big time stealer in the last few weeks, so it's been absolutely wonderful to have stitching to revert to, to kind of bring me back down and help level things out again. And I'm telling you that stitching absolutely 100% is therapy in my life. So that's it in a nutshell, really. Probably more than you needed to know or wanted to know, but that's where we're at. From last time, I have a couple of little bits of admin to do. The first is a correction. So I want to apologise, but when last time I was sharing Light, the Barbara Anna chart, it is a freebie chart. And this is one that Sally and I are going to start probably in June time for our Fun for 50 SAL 2024. It's one of our 50 starts for our 50th year. We shared this chart and I shared a link to the chart. It is a freebie chart from Barbara Anna, but my link doesn't work, so one of you kindly let me know that, and I apologize for that. This chart was really hard for me to track down, so I found it difficult to find the links, but I have finally, I hope, found a way for you to get this chart. If you go to Barbara Anna's Instagram page and go to her profile, she has a link tree there on her profile page. And that link tree has links to quite a number of different things, but one of them is this chart. So one of them is light. So that is the best way that I can direct you to get a copy of this freebie chart, light. So apologies that the link that I used didn't work. I don't really know why. Perhaps it's one of those links that only works a number of times or something. But you should be able to get it if you go to the Instagram page for Barbara Anna Designs and go to her profile and use the link tree. So that is light. And thank you, because I know there are a few of you planning to join us when we're stitching light. So maybe a few more of you will be encouraged by the fact that the link is actually working now, or should actually be working. The other thing that I need to do is to redraw a winner for Le Petit Chaperon Rouge, the chart by Jardin Privé, which is one of my starts for May, I think. And a few videos back, episode 70, I had offered my second copy of this chart as a giveaway, but unfortunately it has not been claimed in the last 3 videos since then. So today I have drawn another winner from that same video. So anyone who used the word wolf in their comments on episode 70, it's a good episode because Charlotte is there doing a fantastic wolf impersonation. But anyone who used the word wolf in their comments on that video was in with a chance to be drawn as the winner of this. So I redrew again, and the winner is M80 Watson-ER4PD. So I put a picture of that up here because I know it's not the easiest one to say. So if that is you, please get in touch with me and let me know your mailing address so that I can pop this in the post to you. Okay, let's get on with the stitching, which is what we're all here for. I have an FFO to show you, but I don't actually have it in my hands. It has left the building and it was sent in the post as a birthday gift for Ros Clarke. Ros, as you may remember, I mentioned Ros before, but Ros has a Flosstube. She's a friend that I met at Stitch in London. She was the designer of the Celebration of Colour SAL that I was doing earlier in the year. So I mentioned Ros quite a lot on the channel here, and we have built up a really lovely relationship, Stitchy Friends relationship, all through the medium of Flosstube, social media, and actually meeting up at Stitch in London. Ros had her 50th birthday this year too. She is another 1974 babe, and she had her birthday in April. So I wanted to stitch her a gift, and Ros, as you may remember, gifted this book, In Friendship's Way, by Blackbird Designs. She gifted a copy of this book to Sally and to me for our 50th year and for the celebration SAL that we are doing. So that when we found out that it was her birthday too, Sally and I both wanted to stitch her something from this book. So you want to go to Sally's latest video. Sally is at FlossySewsandGrows, to see what Sally stitched for her. It's beautiful and absolutely gorgeous finish she did. I'm not going to spoil it. You have to go and watch Sally to see what Sally stitched for Ros. But what I chose to stitch for Ros was this pattern here, which I'll show you a better picture of it, a bigger picture. Here we go. Is called Welcome Dear August. And As you can see, it has August and the date on it. And I wanted to stitch this and change it to April 1974 for Ros's month of birth. I also wanted to change the colours slightly to be something that I felt was more Ros. Probably not entirely Ros's choice, but I wanted to brighten them up a little bit, and I hope that I was successful in that. So my version looks a little bit different, and I'll insert it here. As you can see, I made it into a little cushion for her, and I trimmed it with some beautiful red chenille and backed it with some Tilda fabric. I did say Liberty, which is what the edit jump was about, but it's Tilda fabric, and popped that in the post to Ros so that she would have it on time for her birthday. And it was very gratefully received. So it was an absolute pleasure to stitch, and very special because we were able to stitch from the book that Ros had actually gifted to us for our big celebration year. So it's lovely to be able to share our year with Ros. So that is my first fully finished object, fully finished object for this episode. I do have a couple of finishes. I'm going to show you one now and then one in a little bit. The first finish I have is of the Little House Needleworks Schoolgirl Lessons. Here you go. And this was one of my starts. I had showed it to you last time. I had started it in the couple of weeks preceding the last video. And it's on 46 count cream Bristol linen from Swagart, and I stitched it using this beautiful Gloriana thread, silk thread, which was gifted to me by my friend Kathleen at Kathleen's Trodden Trails. You might recall that I was asking your advice whether I would have enough Gloriana, but yeah, I had plenty, especially when I then decided to stitch it on 46 count 1/2. So you can see, sorry for scale, there's my hand. So it's teeny tiny and it's beautiful. I really love this small pattern. I think it's a really accessible pattern for someone who isn't perhaps confident with samplers and wants to give it a go. I think this would make an absolutely brilliant first sampler, maybe as a gift for someone. I heartily recommend it. I think it's quite hard to get hold of this in the UK from what some of you have been telling me. I happened to buy it in with an order that I had placed with 123 Stitch quite some time ago, so it was in my stash. And I didn't realise that it was difficult to get here, but you can get it on 123 Stitch if you're interested. And Sherry from Just So Sherry stitched this along with us, as did Cross Stitch Sarah, and I think a couple of other folks. Forgive me for not remembering everyone, but Sherry has finished hers, and on her video which I watched yesterday, she has shown a fully finish of it, so that is worth going over to see as well. It's beautiful, Sherry, and thank you so much for stitching along with us. So that is one of my finishes. As I said, I'll show you the other one in a few minutes. I'm going to talk to you about the SAL, the Fun for 50 SAL 2024, and I'll show you another finish in that. So on with the whips. You've seen it a million times. This is the dimensions kit for the Oh Holy Night Advent calendar, and this is my daily thread. So every day that I'm able to stitch, I start my stitching with one thread into this stitch. And here we are. Now, this is not massively exciting in the sense that I'm not showing you something you probably think you haven't already seen, but I promise I'm coming down. Yes, you're seeing more blue borders and stars, but they are getting lower. And look, over here we've got 25. So that is the bottom, if you can see. this is the bottom band with Oh Holy Night written on it. Let me show you a pattern, you see? So I am coming down. I don't have too much further to go after those holly sprigs that are here. There's not too much further. So we're getting there. We really are getting there, I promise. You can see the imprint of Oh Holy Night where it's been wound up. So it looks like this piece might have to be washed just to get, get the imprints out from my tight winding on the scroll bars. Anyway, I promise it is more progress, and that's probably all you need to see because you've seen it 100 times. But I'm actually quite pleased because we're getting there. Slowly but surely we're getting there. Okay, the next whip that I want to share is another one of my starts from this year. I'll insert a picture of the full pattern here because I don't have a cover page for the PDF. And this is Positivity Rules by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I'm stitching this as a gift that I want to be ready for the end of June. And here I am. I love stitching this one. I love stitching it when I'm tired because I've got a really nice piece of 16 count Aida. I hand dyed this myself to give the kind of cloudy look. These blotches are much more severe on the screen than they are in real life. I promise they're a bit more cloudy, soft and cloudy looking. Yes, so this one, the 16 count Aida, is a really nice for your eyes when you're tired. And I think it looks great. So there's a little bit more of the word kind to finish, and then the word trust goes in here, and then everything else is up above the house. So we've got a rainbow and a cloud and a chimney stack and stars and moon on one of the sides as well. So a little bit at a time, and I am getting there. So I love the colours in this. I love all the fonts. You know how much I love font work. So yeah, very happy with that. The next one you haven't seen since the beginning of January because it was start number 1 for the year of our 50 starts, and it was is the Twin Bird Pincushion. This was a chart that was gifted to us at Stitch in London last October 23. And it's a chart by Chloe Wood at Girl with the Gavel Stitches. This is now available on Chloe's Etsy shop. I think it's an Etsy shop. And I will have that linked below if you're interested. Now, because we received it as the Stitch in London chart, this is a mattress pillow. Okay, so it's got 4 sides and a bottom, and the bottom was stitched with the wording Stitch in London 2023, and that was designed, you know, specifically for the retreat. So I think that the general release pattern won't have that wording on the bottom of it. It'll have something else on the bottom of it. But basically for this stitch, you stitch a top piece, a bottom piece, and then 4 little side strips, and then make them into a mattress finish pillow. And I haven't got that far yet, but I started this and then it was start number 1, so it got abandoned when we had all the other starts coming, and I didn't pick it up again until just this last couple of weeks. Now, I'm still not finished, but I have finished the top, and you can see there's an outline border of a running stitch around there, or a back stitch around there. And I have finished the bottom piece now, all except for that outline back stitch, which I need to do. And you can see I changed the wording in the back of the stitch. I didn't put Stitch in London 2023 because this was the first start of our year, and this year, as I'm discovering, is a lot of stitchers' 50th birthdays. So 1974 was quite the year for stitcher births, and I decided that that's what I wanted to write on the back here, Stitchers of 1974. And maybe when I get a little bit further or closer to a finish, I will try to share all of those stitchers of 1974 that I can remember, who all of us who are having our 50th year this year. So that is what I wanted to do, and that's a little bit, I have to say that, that the word stitchers was stitched about 4 times and unpicked about 4 times. I don't know what I was doing with my counting when I designed it on graph paper. I just don't know. I don't know why the count wasn't right. I think I included spaces that I didn't have, and I don't know why. So anyway, it was a little bit stressful. Come the 4th time I had to start stitching the word stitchers to see if it would turn out right, and it did in the end. So I'm really, really happy with this stitch so far. And I'd like to keep this one, you know, I'd like to keep them all going, but I would like to keep this one going now so that I would have all the parts ready to assemble it later in the year. I'm not going to assemble it immediately because one of the suggestions that we had in our prompts from viewers was that we collect this year's orts and use that to stuff a little pillow. So that is what Sally and I are doing. So neither of us will fully finish this until much, much later in the year when we have a lot of orts collected. So that is my progress on what was start number 1. It's coming along. And the last whip that I have to share with you today is the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Sew Along, which is Enchanted Realms Sew Along, Stitch Along, sorry. Part 4 was released on Thursday of this week, and part 4 is Unicorn Forest. So there are 2 unicorns. There's a little castle that goes in here, and this finish, there's more arches of the rainbow, and there's another cloud to finish in here, and I'm hoping that I will get that done this afternoon or this evening if I can get this video edited and uploaded in reasonable time. So that is the progress on Enchanted Realms. All fabulous colours and lots of fun in this stitch. Okay, a little bit more about the Fun for 50 SAL 2024. If you are new here, this is a stitch along that I'm doing with my friend Sally at FlossySewsandGrows. She's on Instagram and YouTube under that name, and you can follow her there. And Sally and I are turning 50 this year, and we decided that we would do a year of 50 starts in celebration of our birthday, our big birthday. So we're doing 50 starts. We are not doing the exact same 50 projects, but roughly once a month we have one project that is the same that we're starting together. And we are really both enjoying this adventure, and it is an adventure. I really absolutely love it. I love it. I want to start all the things. I could start 100 things if just I didn't have to work, but you know how it goes. You have to work to pay the bills, to buy the projects. So Sally and I are stitching 50 things. I am up to start 18 and 19. I have done in the last couple of weeks since I saw you last. So start 18 is called Il Pleut, and it is by a French designer called Marie-Thérèse Saint-Aubin, and this is available as a freebie on Casa Senina. It will be linked below for you if you're interested in it. This is a different kind of chart, but it is a chart with an umbrella on it, and if you've been here for a little while, you know I love charts with umbrellas on them. Some charts with umbrellas on them, and I collect some charts with umbrellas on them. So this is Il Pleut. Il Pleut means it's raining. And as you can see, it's light on stitches, but I have to say, albeit light on stitches, it was heavy on counting. So just making sure that your next stitch goes into the right hole, away over here from where, the previous stitching was, it was tricky enough. but I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed every stitch. I stitched this on a vintage Stormy Night piece of even weave. I think it looks really kind of watery and really apt for the umbrella stitch for a pattern that's called It Is Raining. This stitch satisfied prompts that we were given by our viewers. So the prompt was to stitch something with an umbrella on it, and that prompt was left by two of my viewers, Deborah at Kensington Cross Stitch and Kathleen at Kathleen's Trodden Trails. And obviously they know how much I love umbrellas, so they were kind enough to give me that lovely prompt. And it meant that I could stitch this chart. Now this chart I started it on Ros's 50th birthday, because Ros was the person who directed me to this chart in the first place. When I did a little stash spotlight and showed my umbrella charts, Ros said, "Oh, have you seen this one?" And she directed me to the Casa Sanina freebie page for this. So I thought it was fitting that I could do this in honour of Ros's 50th birthday and make a start. Ros says she's going to stitch it too. Deborah has stitched it. She modified a little bit and didn't stitch all of the writing, but it's beautiful, and thank you so much for joining in with us. I have, as I said, stitched on this vintage Stormy Night from Spygard. It's an even weave, 32 count even weave, and I used some Vicky Clayton silks that were gifted to me by a friend in Canada. So I don't have names for these, but I did the writing with this beautiful kind of golden brown colour, and this is stunning. And I'm not going to be able to show it to you, I don't think, properly, but this is the black, and let me see if I can get it. I don't know if you can see, but there's the most gorgeous green blue sheen variegated through the black there. It reminds me of a starling's breast. So that is the colour, that kind of iridescence in the black. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I thought it would be perfect for an umbrella, especially one that is kind of very sketchy like this. It's not filled in, it's not full, although it would be gorgeous for a full umbrella too, wouldn't it? But it's absolutely beautiful, and these silks are they're fabulous to work with. They're really, really smooth. Really, really smooth. Sorry, I'm putting my hands in front of my face and I don't mean to be. So it's been a real pleasure to be able to use gifted silks. These ones and the Gloriana from Kathleen, which was for the schoolgirl lessons. It's been a real pleasure to be able to use these. I'm sure that my lovely friend in Canada thought I was never going to use her silks, but I promise you I have the silks in many of my bags, all kitted up, ready to be used, and they were a very beautiful stitching experience. Now, for those of you who might want to know, this is a poem. The wording is a poem, and basically the poet's having a bad day. It's raining. It says, "Il pleut sur les ardoises, sur la basse-cour, sur les framboises, sur mon amour." So it is raining on the rooftops, the slates. It is raining on the barnyard. It's even raining on my raspberries and on my love. So yeah, he's not having a good day. But that is what my very rough French translation for the wording would be. Anyway, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So that was start number 18 for the year, and finished. So started and finished. And then I had start number 19, which I am going to apologise for because I forgot to iron it when I was ironing everything else. The ironing board and the iron, everything's all put away, and I just wasn't going to get it out again, sorry. So I'll try to make this look as decent as it can do, given that I've been stitching it in hand on linen and haven't ironed it. So apologies in advance. Anyway, number 19, start number 19 is this. It is the Prim Alphabet Sampler from Frog Cottage Designs. I have had this in my stash for too long. I have loved it and wanted to stitch it, and it's from Deb at Frog Cottage Designs, who I love. and I really wanted to do this. And then there was a prompt for this year provided by the viewer, provided by Patchy Pony Stitcher, who is another floss tuber. And she said that we should stitch something from an Australian designer with Australian floss, sorry, from an Australian designer, an Australian fabric dyer, and an Australian floss dyer. So, phew. So here we go. So this is Deb at Frog Cottage Designs, who is an Australian designer. I am stitching on a 40 count Mayflower by Fox and Rabbit. So they are the Australian fabric dyer. And the flosses that are in the alphabet, so the red and the kind of creamy colour, those are Cottage Garden threads. Yeah, sorry, just trying to remember. Cottage Garden threads, and they're here. Forgive me, I should have had them out. The red is Hugs and Kisses, which is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. The most glorious deep, deep red, variegated. It really is beautiful. And then the creamier colour is Melting Moment. Melting Moment. There you go, and Hugs and Kisses. I don't know if Melting Moment is the same thing in Australia as is here, but a melting moment here is like a kind of a shortbread biscuit, a really shortbread biscuit that melts in your mouth, and we call them melting moments. So to me it all fits with the colour of the thread, so maybe it is the same thing in Australia. And those are the glorious Cottage Garden threads, which are hand dyed by Australian floss dyers. So I have ticked all the Australian boxes for this one, and it was an absolute pleasure to do so. So I love that this sampler, you know, starts out with the alphabet and then branches into the words, so A, B, C, D, E, F, family, H, I, J, K, L, love, you know, you can see the rest, I don't probably need to tell you, but I would dearly have loved to get this one finished, but yeah, I had more of those phone calls and emails emails to contend with, so I didn't get quite the time to finish it. But there is this kind of floral on each side to go, so it goes up and down each side. A couple of, well, the hearts I've done, and then there's a checkerboard border that goes around the outside, and I think the checkerboard border will be really nice to do when I'm on Zoom calls. So that would be my plan to keep this one moving forward. So that was start 19 for the SAL, the Fun for 50 SAL 2024. And you can see that I'm really having fun. I'm getting to pull out patterns that have been in my stash for a while, things I've really wanted to get to, and just, you know, I didn't because I keep buying the next thing and the next thing. So it's been really nice to go back and have a look through my patterns and see which ones I want to stitch, and also to see which ones fit the prompts. I'm having great fun trying to fit a lot of the prompts. Now, I'm not going to make all of the prompts, but it's great fun to make as many of them as I can, and this one was really good. So all of the Australian patterns and fabric and floss, that was a good one. So thank you very much for that suggestion, and I hope that you feel that I fulfilled that well. Okay, the next couple of designs, so what you should see next time I'm back, the next couple of designs that I'm going to start are Light a Single Candle by Modern Folk Embroidery. So that should be tomorrow night's start. I'm looking forward to that immensely. I've got a beautiful, beautiful piece of fabric for this one, and a lovely Roxy Flosco thread for that one. And then the following Monday, I will make a start, I hope, on Goodness and Mercy by Sweet Wing Studios. So that is my one of my market purchases for this year. So that's the plans. There are more plans for May. I discussed those all in the last video. I'll pop in a little slide of the schedule for May. And if you want to join in with any of those, you can. Some of you wanted to know, did we have dates for things? So we're trying to give you a little bit more information in advance. So that is the schedule for May. If you want to join in with any of those starts, please do. If you're already working on some of those projects, then pull them out and put in a few stitches in celebration of our big 50-year. As a sneak peek going forward, I wanted to share with you one of the little patterns that I'm going to do for Christmas in July. And I'm going to share this because maybe you would like to join with me and it gives you time to get it together. It is only a little pattern and it's a freebie, so I am going to show you the chart from a distance and I will link it below because there's no photo, there's no cover photo. This will be for Christmas in July, which is why it's a Christmassy chart. It's called Adore Him and it's by Plum Street Samplers. And as I said, I will link the freebie down below. And look, I have another one of those beautiful silks from Canada, from Vicky Clayton. And oh, you can't see it well enough, but can you see how beautifully variegated that green is? I do so wish I could share these colours with you properly. Oh look, that's really good. That's really good actually. So that is the green silk. That it just so happens it's on this card with another floss. I'm not using the other one for this one, but just this green. So if you would like to stitch Adore Him in July along with me for my 50th year celebrations, you can download that and get yourself ready. So that is a little sneak peek of what's coming down the line. Okay. Next, I want to share with you something really lovely. So this is a UK company and they're called Love Poppet and they're run by lovely Claire at Love Poppet. And Claire reached out to me to say, hey, we're having a new SAL, and she let me have the details of the SAL. And we had a little chat back and forward on Instagram Messenger and Claire's company, Love Poppet, is a company I have heard of before and a company that I've seen. You may have seen it too. You may have seen this, Rockin' Robin, which was doing the rounds of Instagram and Flosstubes when it was released and is absolutely fabulous. I love it. I love it so much. I was kind of sorry I didn't jump on that bandwagon at the time, but you know, the time will come and I will stitch it. Yes, Claire is the owner and the designer of that pattern. So some of you will have seen her and perhaps heard of Love Poppet. So Claire is, as I said, she's a designer. She has a new SAL coming out in a few weeks' time, and it will be called the Dreaming of Summer SAL. So I'm going to insert a couple of nice little pictures here of the SAL. As you can see, it is going to be summery and floral. There's a pixelated pic because it's a mystery SAL, so we don't know exactly what's coming, but there's a sneak peek of the start of it and a sneak peek of the sumptuous, rich, saturated colours of summer that she has chosen in her flosses for this SAL. So I think it's going to be absolutely glorious, and if you're interested, this is a 5-part SAL. The parts will release starting on the 16th of May and they will release fortnightly between the 16th of May and the 11th of July. Claire is selling this as a kit. You have a choice of fabrics, a 14 count Aida or a 32 count even weave. You would get your fabric and your floss, and then you will get the PDF pattern releases as and when they come from the 16th of May. Now, pre-orders are already open, and if you're interested, you could pop along to lovepoppet.co.uk and find the SAL and sign up for it. I will have it linked down below as well, so you won't have to look too hard for that. Claire very, very sweetly agreed that we could have a giveaway here on my channel, and one of my very lucky viewers will receive from Claire the fabric and floss and PDF releases for this SAL, this Dreaming of Summer SAL. So if you are interested in winning, and you all should be, then there are just a couple of conditions. I will be very happy to send this anywhere in the world. Claire's going to send the fabric and floss kit to me, and then I will send it on to one of you. So you have to obviously be able to provide me with a mailing address, and you will also have to provide me with an email address, and that is for the PDF pattern links. And you have to be happy that I will share your email address with Claire. She will add you to her email distribution list for the SAL, so that you will get those parts every fortnight when they are released. So if you would like to be in with a chance to win this wonderful SAL kit, then you have to do a little bit of work. You have to go and have a look at lovepoppet.co.uk, and you have to tell me which pattern you really like. Now, I was going to say you have to tell me your favourite, but when I went to choose my favourite, I couldn't choose just one. So, so just share with me something that you really, really like, even if you can't choose an absolute favourite. Share with me what the name of that pattern is in the comments down below. And anyone who has answered that question will be in with a chance to win the giveaway that Claire has very generously provided for you. I will show you two of my favorites. Where do you see? This is why I can't choose. But Rockin' Robin obviously is one, and the other one is this beautiful font of the word hope. And there are several others like it. So yeah, but you have to go and see. I'm not going to tell you everything. I'm not going to tell you everything right away. So go and check out lovepoppet.co.uk. Put your response, tell me what you really loved from Claire's shop, and if you've answered that question, then I will put you in the running for winning the kit for the PDF. So, as you know, as I've said, the SAL starts on the 16th of May. So in order to be in with a chance of getting this to you on time, I'm going to come back next weekend with a short video just announcing the winner of the giveaway, and that's just so that you don't have to wait another week before I can then get it out in the post to you. So so you have until next Friday night at midnight, say, or so sometime next Saturday morning, I am going to choose a winner, and I will put a quick video up to let you know who has been the lucky winner of Claire's very generous offer. So I think it's wonderful that there are more UK companies, designers and companies who are providing kits and making it easy and accessible for us all to enjoy this craft. I think it's absolutely wonderful, and I am only too happy to support them. So I'm hoping that in the future you'll see more of what Claire has to offer through my channel, and I hope that you'll be encouraged to go over there and have a look and see what she's up to, and give her a little bit of love and support too, because I know you're all absolutely brilliant at that. So that is the Dreaming of Summer SAL. So as you know, inspiration and enablement is something we are not short of here on Flosstube. I love to see it all, I love to absorb it all, and yes, I love to purchase bits of it as we go along. All of it is keeping alive my love and my passion for the needle arts, and hopefully for yours too. So one of the ways that you can keep connected in the community is by following other floss tubers. And so today the Get Connected section is about some of the floss tubers I've been watching, enjoying, and these ones are more, these ones are newer to me. Well, one isn't, but I'll explain. And these ones are newer to me, and I'm sure some of you are already watching, but if you're not, these ones are definitely worth a little look. So the first one is not new, but she's back, and it's Evelyn from across the pond. So Evelyn across the pond has returned to Flosstube. She's talking about her stitching. She's giving us a catch up on her life, which has been very exciting, very big. You know, she's a young person, making big starts on her professional career and her married life and all of those things. So it's really lovely to catch up with her, and now that she's back, and she's also wanting to share a lot of her knitting with us as well, which I see a lot of floss tubers doing at the moment, finding other needle arts and wanting to share them too. So I love watching Evelyn, and I'm so happy to see her back. So perhaps you would like to watch her too if you don't already. Then I came across Marion and Fanny at Soul Stitches _France, Soul Stitchers _ FR. I'll put it down below. But they are a French channel, and they have put their floss tube video out in English, and it's really, really lovely to see something a little bit different. They're sharing European designers with us that we don't always see. So I love to see more of the variety of what's out there, and I think absolutely Marion and Fanny will do that as their channel develops. They're also going to Stitch in London weekend too, which is the weekend I'm going to, so it will be really nice to get a chance to meet them in person then. And the other two that I watched and loved this last couple of weeks are Chris the Camping Stitcher. Now, everybody in the whole world mentions Chris the Camping Stitcher, and rightly so, but I just never had gotten around to, you know, hitting the right buttons and watching. So I loved it, will be watching more. And also Kim at Stitchy Squirrels. So Kim's video, her last video was a little while ago, but it's been really nice just to catch up with her, and she's so sweet, and she has a lovely, very active Instagram page as well. So so go there, catch up with her stitching, and give her a little bit of support, and give everyone a little bit of love and support. So there's plenty of options for you there. Before I go, I'll leave you with one special thing, although there've been lots of special things in this episode, but the one special thing I wanted to mention to you is something that you can keep an eye out for in the future. And it is a pattern that is coming from Works by ABC. Now, Works by ABC had a pattern release at market this March, and it was called 324, and it's a collection of little designs in a grid using 324 different colors of DMC floss. I'm sure that you have seen it about. I'll insert a picture here to remind you. So that is the one that has already been released. But on her Instagram page, the designer of Works by ABC has been playing with another idea for another 324, and it is not cross stitch. Apologies, I took a little break there to have a cough. It is not cross stitch, it is a sampler of stitches, other stitches, more like needlepoint stitches, embroidery stitches, and you all know that I really love other needle crafts as well. Yes, I haven't done so many of them in the last year or year and a half, but it's very intriguing to me, and I think it will be one I will be watching for and probably do an add to cart on. So this is the pics that she has put on her Instagram page so far. So I just wanted to share that with you. I think it would be a really nice way of learning some new stitches and learning a little bit of new craft. So that is my one special thing for today. Anyway, it's time for me to go, and it's time for you to go, because you've got lots of things to do. You've got to go and look up lovepoppet.co.uk. You've got to go and check out all those nice new floss tubers, and you've got to go and check out the Instagram for the new 324. So what are you doing still here? Okay, I'll see you next time. Until then, stay well and stitch happy. Bye guys.